I just want to speak to a real person. Why is this so complicated? I'm never shopping here again. The wait time is approximately 47 minutes. You've had these frustrations before, right? Maybe even felt them yourself. Let's talk about what's really happening here. Customer lifetime value, acquisition costs, retention strategies, net promoter scores. This is a business investing millions in getting new customers while hemorrhaging the ones they already have. In fact, data shows that improving customer retention by just 5% can increase profits by between 25 and 95%. And one of those frustrated customers was a friend of mine last month. After spending 3 hours trying to return a defective product through an automated system that kept her on hold and disconnected her call. But here's the crazy part. The company had spent well over $100 acquiring her as a customer through clever marketing campaigns and a seamless purchase experience. Then, they lost her forever because of what happened after she bought. So many businesses are obsessing over the wrong parts of the customer journey. This right here is the customer journey blind spot. The customer journey blind spot. The critical phase most companies completely ignore, but actually determines whether someone becomes a loyal advocate or tells everyone they know to avoid your business. But this isn't just about customer service horror stories. This is about the bigger question here. The huge question, which is, why do we pour so much money, so much effort into getting customers through the door, but then basically abandon them once they've made a purchase? The answer reveals a fundamental misunderstanding about what actually creates customer loyalty and sustainable business growth. Understanding the whole journey, understanding the complete customer journey. If you are in business, you've probably seen something like this before. The traditional customer journey map, a nice clean funnel that moves from awareness to consideration to purchase. Some models add a few more steps, but they all focus heavily on that moment of the transaction. It's like all the excitement is around getting someone to say yes for the first time. But that's not how customers actually experience your brand. For them, the most critical part begins right after they click buy. And this is where most journey maps suddenly get very thin on details. Look at how companies allocate their budgets. Marketing and sales get the lion's share, while post-purchase experience fight for scraps. The average business spends 5 to 10 times more acquiring a customer than retaining them. But here is what makes that approach so backward. According to research from Bain & Company, repeat customers spend 67% more in their third year with a business than in their first year, and they are 5 to 9 times more profitable than new ones. What sets truly exceptional companies apart isn't their ability to attract customers. It's their mastery of what happens after the purchase. Take these two companies. Company A focuses on sleek marketing and optimized purchase flow. Company B, on the other hand, invests heavily in what happens after you buy. Within 3 years, Company B has 3 times the customer lifetime value despite similar acquisition numbers. The difference? Company B understands that the post-purchase experience, what I call the valley, is where loyalty is either cemented or destroyed. Most businesses optimize for the first purchase, but the post-purchase experience determines if there will ever be a second one. And that's not just bad for retention, it's catastrophically expensive, because when you lose a customer in the valley, you don't just lose future revenue. You create active detractors who will tell others to stay away. So, while most businesses are treating the purchase as the finish line, the smartest ones know it's actually just the starting point of the relationship that matters most. Navigating the valley of customer experience. Let me show you something fascinating about how customers actually experience your brand. If we map the emotional journey of a customer relationship, it looks something like this. During the discovery phase, there is excitement. They've found a solution to their problem. The buying process builds anticipation. And right at the moment of purchase, customers experience peak emotion, what psychologists call anticipatory happiness. But what happens next? There's a sharp drop. I call this the valley of disappointment. This crucial period after purchase, when excitement fades and reality sets in. This is where customers are most vulnerable to disappointment and most open to building true loyalty. I bought this expecting it to solve my problem, but now I'm not sure. Did I make the right choice? Should I have gone with the competitor? Is this company going to support me now that they have my money? Think of your customer relationship like dating. So many businesses act like the proposal is the finish line. She said yes, my work here is done. But anyone who's been married knows the proposal isn't the end of the relationship, it's just the beginning. I got to see this up close when I subscribed to some software. I'm really excited about this new tool. Setup and features were a breeze until I wanted to stop my subscription. Canceling was not automated. You had to talk to someone. However, getting a hold of support was a nightmare. You had to jump over several bot messages before you could talk to someone. It was crazy. Mind you, I was not canceling because I hated the product. I just needed to pause for a month or two so I could get other things ready before renewing my subscription for a long-term package. Do you think that happened after my experience? Definitely not. You can see companies mastering the valley over the years, understanding that the emotional drop is inevitable. So they build bridges across it. They're not just focused on features, they are focused on success moments that carry customers through uncertainty. These businesses recognized something crucial. The first 30 days after purchase determine the next 3 years of the relationship. Look at the conversion data. Customers who engage with post-purchase content are 83% more likely to buy again. Those who achieve their first success moments within 48 hours show 62% higher retention rates over time. This isn't just about sending a nice thank you email. It's about architecting a deliberate path from purchase to successful implementation or enjoyment of your product. Hold on. Dun, da, da, da. Here is something that will change how you think about your budget allocations. A landmark study from Harvard Business Review revealed something that most businesses are still ignoring. After analyzing customer data and financial performance across multiple industries, they found that increasing customer retention rates by just 5% increases profits by between 25% to 95%. Uh-oh, that's a lot of money. But that's just the beginning. The same research showed that it costs 5 to 25 times more to acquire a new customer than to keep an existing one. Let's put real numbers to this. If your average customer acquisition cost is, let's say, $300, you are spending $3,000 to bring in 10 new customers. But you might only need to invest $300 total to retain 10 existing ones. So why do companies keep prioritizing acquisition? It comes down to 3 factors. First, misaligned metrics. Most executives are evaluated on growth metrics like new customer acquisition rather than retention metrics. Second, the quarterly pressure. Acquisition shows immediate results on the balance sheet. Retention investments take longer to demonstrate ROI. And third, retention is often seen as a cost center, while acquisition is seen as a growth driver. But the data tells a different story. According to research from Forrester, loyal customers are 5 times more likely to repurchase, 5 times more likely to forgive mistakes, and 4 times more likely to refer others to your company. Let's look at a real example. A subscription software company spent $2.3 million on customer acquisition last year and $450,000 on post-purchase experience. Their churn rate was 32%. By reallocating just $300,000 from acquisition to post-purchase experience, they reduced churn to 18% from 32%. Resulting in $1.7 million in additional annual recurring revenue. This isn't just about making customers happy. It's about making a strategic investment that delivers measurable returns. The most successful companies are recognizing that the economic engine of sustainable growth isn't just getting customers in the door. It's ensuring they stay long enough to become profitable. Rethinking what creates true loyalty. Most businesses believe that the key to customer loyalty is simple: discounts, reward programs, and the occasional email asking, "How did we do?" But if that approach worked, why do so many loyalty programs fail to improve retention? What I found was that loyalty is less about trickle-down perks and more about the emotional connection formed during the valley. Rethinking what creates true loyalty, emotional connection in the valley. People often talk about excellent customer service as the solution, for example, but that's actually a reactive approach that only engages after something goes wrong. The companies with the highest retention rates don't wait for problems. They proactively guide customers through the valley. The more research I did, the more complicated it got. The surprising truth is that the moment that matters most isn't when things go right. It's what happens immediately after something goes wrong. Researchers at the Carey School of Business found that customers who had a problem that was successfully resolved were more loyal than customers who never experienced a problem at all. This phenomenon, known as the service recovery paradox, reveals something profound. Successfully navigating a customer through disappointment creates stronger emotional bonds than simply delivering what was expected. Take Zappos, for instance. Their legendary customer service isn't just about being nice. It's about anticipating the valley and building bridges across it. When a customer received the wrong order right before a wedding, Zappos overnight shipped the correct shoes, refunded the purchase, and sent flowers to apologize. That customer became a vocal advocate, worth far more than the cost of the recovery. Or consider Apple. Their much copied unboxing experience isn't just about aesthetics. It's deliberate strategy to extend the emotional high of purchasing into the critical first moments of ownership, carrying customers through the valley before disappointment can set in. What both companies understand is that the post-purchase experience isn't just about preventing churn. It's about transforming transactional customers into emotional stakeholders in your success. These insights contradict traditional thinking. We've been taught that product quality and price are the primary drivers of loyalty. But when researchers at Montista studied consumer behavior across 100 brands, they found that customers with an emotional connection to a brand have 306% higher lifetime value than those who are merely just satisfied. The valley isn't just a danger zone. It's your greatest opportunity to create the kind of emotional connection that turns customers into advocates. What if your marketing budget prioritized delighting existing customers over acquiring new ones? What if your KPIs valued emotional connection as much as conversion rates? What if the most important metric wasn't customer acquisition costs, but rather the valley navigation rate? The business landscape is shifting. In a world where customers can compare options instantly and share experiences globally, the brands that will dominate the next decade aren't the ones with the best product or the cleverest ads. They're the ones who master the valley of disappointment. Now you understand why customers leave. It's not because of price, but because you went silent when they needed you the most. Not because your competitor had a better product, but because they provided a better bridge across the valley. I've tracked my own emotional journey with brands and noticed I stay loyal to those who excel in this forgotten middle. Think about your own loyalty. It's rarely about features or even price. It's about how a company made you feel during the moments of vulnerability. So, what's next? Start by mapping your customer emotional journey, not just their transaction points. Identify where the valley begins for your customers and where the bridge should be built. Ask yourself, what happens in the crucial 48 hours right after purchase? What's the first success moment your customer should experience? How are you proactively reaching out during periods of potential disappointment? The shift doesn't require a complete organization overhaul. Often, it's about reallocating existing resources to focus on the moments that matter most. As competition intensifies, the acquisition costs continue to rise. Your ability to navigate customers through the valley won't just be a competitive advantage. It will be the determining factor in your long-term survival. If you found this helpful, my next video is about overrated marketing strategies and what actually works. Find out the parts of your strategy you need to ditch and what you need to improve on. I will link it somewhere in this video. I'll be watching as companies either embrace this reality or get left behind. And I'll be rooting for those who understand that the most important part of the customer journey isn't getting someone to buy. It's transforming them from a transaction into a relationship. Because ultimately, the companies that thrive won't be asking, how can we get more customers? They'll be asking, how can we create more meaningful journeys for the customers we already have?